All right, Dr. Holman, let's talk about headaches. I was reading, I believe it was in the New York Times not too long ago, that 73% of Americans suffer from headaches, whether it's an occasional one or a chronic one, and that's a lot of people suffering from headaches.
It is. If you look up on the internet headaches, you'll find that there's probably 150 different types of headaches. In my office, I don't really care what the headache is. Let's find out where the cause is. The headaches themselves, it's a symptom. It's pain. The body's saying there's something wrong and I need you to fix it. It just happens to be coming out as a headache. In my office, I use Western and the Eastern philosophy.
Okay. So what is the difference between them and how do you integrate them?
In Eastern philosophy, the Chinese use the acupuncture, the meridian points. They map things out on the body. The head can be mapped out also. A person who comes in with migraines, usually it's a one-sided headache, it'll come up in the temple region. The temple is typically a gallbladder issue. These people will generally have digestive complaints, acid reflux, bloating, feeling full after they eat. That's about, I would say, 60% of those types of migraines. They also will notice that if they eat red meat, red wine, caffeine, chocolate, cruciferous vegetables, or fat.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. It will cause these headaches to come on after a time. Now, if you go just off of the temples a little bit, that's the liver itself. If you go just above the ear, that's the stomach point. If you go 2 inches above the ear, that's colon. Top of the head is bladder and neurological. Now, neurological would be your brain tumors, they would be the vascular issues. They only constitute 1% of headaches. If you feel like you have a headache on the top, push on the inside of the eyes. That's also a bladder point. If it's a bladder headache, you're going to get it here and you're going to get it on the top of the head. A person who also has a headache in the center of the forehead, it's usually from the stomach. Behind the eyes is hormonal or endocrine. So we're looking at pineal, pituitary, thyroid, or adrenals. If you have a cluster headache, that's a headache that's behind the eyes and on the temple, you've got 2 things. You've got the gallbladder and your endocrine system. Now, the headaches that a lot of people struggle with are stress headaches. They're the ones that start in the back of the head and they wrap up behind the eyes. Those are typically relieved through chiropractic care. The chiropractor goes in and adjusts C1, C2, and the headaches feel better. But the problem is those headaches will come back because that C2 region, which is just below the skull, it gives the nerve supply to the pituitary and the thyroid. Therefore, if you fix the pituitary and thyroid, that particular segment of the spine will stabilize and the headaches will disappear.
All right, so in the short term, I'm going to take the aspirin. Long term, I know now that I keep getting these headaches, so it's my gallbladder or it's my hormones. So then, is this how I will start working on some preventive care to keep
Absolutely.
them from coming back?
If you start getting a headache, you're going to be educated with this series. In my office, education is the key to healing. That is how you put the power of healing back into your hands. By understanding how the body works, how it's mapped out, what can you do then to prevent yourself from being in pain, whether it's a headache or whether it's stomach issues.
So if you're suffering from headache problems and would like to learn more and really get to the root of the problem, just call Dr. Holman in her office. It's 239-278-5355. Put the power of healing back in your hands.